Okay, let me just check on YouTube that we're good.
Yeah, I'm checking too.
So
I see us. It looks like
we're
we're live.
live.
Yeah.
Okay, there we are. Okay, let me pull it back over here. Sorry. All right. Hey y'all, this is the September episode, first episode of our new book club. It's the Spooky Bitches Book Club. I'm Brody, but you probably already know that since you're on my channel. So if y'all just want to go ahead and introduce yourselves right quick, that would be great.
Sure, I can start. My name is Angel. My channel is Jurassic Reads. I read mostly horror, but there's some like sci-fi and romance sprinkled in there. Yeah.
Okay, hi. My name is Michelle. I have a channel, Book with Michelle, and I honestly cannot say what I read most because I read almost everything, so I don't know how to classify myself here. But horror is a huge passion of mine, both movies and books, so.
I'm Wheezy, and I have a podcast called Southern Gal Reads that you can find on Anchor.
All right. And like I said, I am Brody. This is my channel that you are on currently. If you don't subscribe to me and you're just here for the book club, I review a lot of Native American literature, horror, young adult, some manga, just a little bit of everything. But I'm mainly like YA horror trash. So today we will be talking about Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant and the movie Underwater with Kristen Stewart. And does anyone want to give a plot synopsis of either one of those?
Ooh, I can try if nobody else has it. Okay,
Go for
I
it.
can kind of go. So with Into the Drowning Deep specifically, it is trying to make it easy. There was initially a group of people that went out to do like a mockumentary over the Mariana Trench, and they kind of went missing, but there was some leaked footage that some strange things, some weird creatures started making that happen. And now in the present, there is a secondary group of people going out to kind of figure out what happened, a more scientific route versus just the mockumentary. And again, weird things start happening. It's not really a spoiler, but horror mermaids is kind of the tagline for that.
Okay. I can sum up Underwater if no one else wants to go.
Go for it.
Okay, well, Underwater is not the same premise, but very similar in that it's about a group of people who are stationed in the bottom of the Mariana Trench, sent by an engineering group, a company that does a lot of drilling at the bottom of the ocean, and essentially something goes wrong, their station explodes, and they have to make their way across the bottom of the ocean so they can access their rescue pods and get out of there.
And if you can't tell, the theme that we went with was pretty on the nose. It was like underwater research facility horror is what I've been calling it. Do we want to talk about ratings first?
Sure. Do you guys in the comments also want to let us know if you read it, what you thought of it too? Like rating wise, not like a full synopsis.
Yeah, let us know your ratings so we can compare.
Yes.
I have to look up my rating now.
I don't think I ever gave the movie a rating, so I have to think about it.
Ooh. Do you want to do that one out of 10 instead of 5 like a normal book?
What did I rate?
I use Letterboxd, which is essentially the same with 5-star systems, except they have half stars, so. But nice. I have to think about it first.
I can't remember what I rated. Hang on.
Okay, so I gave the book 5 out of 5 stars. I've said before, it's like one of my favorite books of all time. I think it's fantastic. It's the only Seanan McGuire Mira Grant thing I've ever read, though. Everyone tells me I really like your stuff, but I give this one 5 out of 5 stars. It's more my jam.
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I feel like I talked about this in my vlog. I feel like watching Underwater in the middle of like finishing, like before I finished this book, kind of ruined the mood for me, but it was still a 4-star read. Like I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was a fun ride.
I also gave the book 4 stars. There were like some small things that I had some issues with, but overall it was a really strong read for me. I really loved it all the way through.
I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5. I love Shauna McGuire, though. I've pretty much read everything she's written except for her like urban fantasy books. Those are the only ones I have not read. Like the Wayward Children series, I read all of those, and I think I gave all of those either a 4 or 5. And then I read Middle Game, which I gave 5 stars to as well. So I gave this one 5 out of 5. I just love her.
I haven't read a lot by her. Sorry.
I was just saying I'm seeing lots of high ratings. It's like all 4 and 5 stars in the chat so
Nice.
far.
I was just gonna say that I also haven't read a lot of Shauna McGuire. I only read Middle Game, but honestly, I read it last year, just when it came out, and like I still think about it like every week at least. It just like stuck with me.
Yeah,
I
like
only
it's
read-
a super complicated book.
Yeah.
I only read the first in the Wayward Children series, mostly because it was like a nice, quick, compact book on a drive. But yeah, no, obviously the rest of that series and then Middle Game is also high on my list. It's just those like thick books, man, just you really terrify me.
Yeah.
Oh, this one was like almost 500 pages, right?
This
Yeah.
I did as an audiobook because again, like
434 pages.
yeah, mine is like 400 something, but I had to do it as an audiobook.
Okay, and how do we feel about the movie? Because like I have some thoughts on the movie.
I
Oh,
love
no.
the movie personally.
Me too.
I didn't watch the
Yeah, I
movie.
think.
You didn't watch
Oh
the movie?
no!
I don't watch TV, so I
Oh,
was
okay.
like, I was, yeah,
Fair.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're absolutely fine.
So like
I
was not a fan of the movie.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't.
How did
I
this happen?
thought everyone looked really hot. Everyone looked
They
great.
were very hot in that movie.
Yeah.
And Kristen Stewart did her thing, but she was like the only one who did anything.
That's
Fair.
very
Thirst
true.
trap.
Yeah, no, she was scantily clad in a few scenes, but no,
And she
Oh,
looks
well, now I
so
need to watch
good with
it.
hair.
what about her hair?
She looks so good with short hair.
Oh,
does.
yeah, that was great.
Hmm.
I like rating wise, I guess if I did it at a 5, I would do like a 4.5. I loved it. Like I actually got my boyfriend to watch it with me, and he hates her. He despises her, and he really enjoyed it with me. But I think it was some of the scenes were just so similar to the book that when I got to those scenes in the book, I was like, oh, like this is cool, but dang, I already know.
Yeah. That's fair. I don't know, if I had to give it a rating, I think I would give it like a 3.75 because like it was really good. But I wouldn't say it's like my favorite movie now.
Yeah.
But I really did like it. The crew really reminded me of like the crew on Alien for some reason, especially with like the one girl who constantly kept crying and crying about everything. I was like, am I watching Alien? Like,
I
would give it like a 2, I guess.
Ooh.
Yeah, I could do without us killing the black guy first. That's every
true.
time that happens, it makes me so
True.
mad in films.
Yeah, that should have
we
died a
know-
long time ago.
Yeah, it's like I watched it with my boyfriend, and whenever we were watching it, we saw the character, and Will, who is black, he was like, "Oh, he's gonna die first."
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Did they make a joke about it too? Because I feel I might have been watching another movie that they made a joke about, like the black character dying first.
It makes me so mad. It's like
Yeah.
that will instantly make me not enjoy the rest of the film.
Right.
Mhm.
Like it kills the vibe of it.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody in the comments said that Kristen Stewart could just step on their face, and I would thank her.
Yes,
Ooh, I
I
feel
agree with you,
What a
Rachel.
mood, though.
Oh my god.
So it was really similar to the book, though, like
Yeah.
eerily.
I guess I was gonna say, do we want to do like spoilers from here on out? Because there might be some people
Yes.
that like did not read or watch.
Yes. So if you did not read the book or watch the movie and you don't want to get spoiled, then like later,
Then leave.
yeah, and then come back and watch it so I can get the view time. So. Okay, so do we want to do spoilers for the book or spoilers for the movie first? Or do we just want to talk about them, like, together?
We could do book first.
Okay.
True. I agree.
So, do we have a favorite character in the book?
For me, Jillian Toth, was that the professor? Her
Yes.
name?
Same for me
I
too.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was badass.
Yeah. Though I do have to say that I really love Heather as well. I mean, she's not there for a long time, considering,
Mhm.
but I really do love her.
I liked Olivia the best. I talked about it in my the spoiler-free video that I did, but like that was the first time that I had ever read an autistic character, and like being autistic myself, I was like, this is like one of the most accurate things I have ever read. So I thought Olivia was fantastic. I also really like was it Jacques and Mitchie?
Yeah.
The
really like
hunter.
them.
Yeah.
I like terrible people.
Yeah.
I do too.
We love a big game hunter.
Yeah.
Like you both are garbage, and I love you.
No, I actually liked their dynamic. Like, just getting like really like doing terrible things, go have an intimate moment, go do terrible things.
On like a big pile of grenades and guys.
Yeah, and they're completely different. They're completely different from everyone else in the book, so there was always like such a nice page to like go back to their offs because it was so different.
And they were so unapologetic about what they enjoyed doing.
Yes. It's like I always say, I don't want redemption arcs for terrible book characters. Like, just let them be terrible. I don't need everyone to be a good guy.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And then I guess maybe like what's our least favorite character?
Okay, I have an answer. What's his name? Jason?
Yeah.
Like,
the X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like he was like, did we really need him there?
Well, he
had to get murdered pretty fast.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true. I was like, just after I read the chapter where he dies, I was like just scrolling Facebook at work, you know, like one desk, but they have a moment. I came across those sponsored videos where they're like, why we can't have nice things, and like, what were people thinking when they were doing this? And I was like, oh my god, Jason would have a clip in these videos. Like, he would be there.
For me, I love that he didn't even get.
Too.
Yes, Olivia's fantastic. I love that Jason didn't even get to be killed by a mermaid.
No. Not important enough to be killed by a mermaid.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm reading the chat. I see lots of Olivia. Holly was your favorite. Okay.
So the twins, or no, sorry, Holly was the one that like was still alive, correct?
It was Holly, Heather. Heather's the one that died.
Yeah.
And what was the third one? I'm sorry. It was Haley?
Hallie?
Hallie. Okay, because in the audiobook, they said Holly and Hallie, and I kept getting them mixed up in the audiobook because I listened on like 2.5 speed. So I was like, I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
I like Tori too, though.
I like her, like, oh, sorry, continue, Brody.
Tori was a great protagonist. Like I said, I don't think it would work as a single perspective novel, but like if I were to follow anyone, I would want to follow Tori. So.
I liked that first like big introduction to Tori when they were talking about the like killer whales on the tour boat and like just completely like putting it on blast. They're like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot and like try to get these people to actually have an education, and then she gets fired. But
she gave no shits.
No.
Yeah.
She was great.
I didn't expect the romance though between Olivia and Tori. Like that kind of came out of nowhere, which I'm like glad it did, obviously. But like I wasn't expecting that in the middle of like killer mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't either.
Oh, and then Mariah Reed said it is sirens, not mermaids. I'm sorry, especially because Jillian Toth is like our favorite character. and kept
Yeah,
correcting
yeah.
people.
Well, I feel like I keep saying mermaids because like throughout the book they continuously refer to them as mermaids
As
until
mermaids, yeah.
you get to later, and then they're like, no, they're sirens. But like I've read 300 pages of them saying mermaids, so like in my
Yeah.
head,
Right,
And they
like
kept
in
going
my
back to
head.
it.
yeah, I, like flip back and forth. But yes, it is sirens technically.
Mm.
What did we think of the sirens? Because I really liked how they were done.
Yeah, I thought they were amazingly done. I loved it. I watched your
I like that
review
they
and I
weren't
agree with
like-
everything. Yeah. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I watched your review, Brody, and I really agree with what you were saying. Like, that they were literally like just deep ocean horrors, and I love that they were portrayed like that. That was amazing.
No, were we gonna say Wheezy?
Oh, I just like that they weren't like classically portrayed as sirens or mermaids. Like they weren't beautiful. They were beautiful in a way that like because they're not human and it's something that we've never seen, but they're not beautiful in like a human way.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't think it was in my edition, but have we seen any like actual illustrations of them portrayed anywhere? Because I would love to see a more like actual physical something.
I think they're illustrated on the cover of the prequel, like the little novella prequel.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you read
Rolling
that,
in the
Wheezy?
Deep.
Yes.
I did read that and it was really good.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. What is it about? Because I haven't read the novella.
Me neither.
The novella follows like the first ship, the Otter Goddess.
Mhm.
And
Oh, okay.
like it's almost like a found footage novella. Like it doesn't get really
Ooh.
in depth and it follows all of the different characters. And I said in my podcast that the novella kind of like put into perspective for me how many people were on the first ship because my brain was like, oh, it's just a couple of people on this small ship. But it was a cruise ship and there were 200 people on it that all
Okay.
were murdered.
Okay. So it's like half what was on the second one. I didn't imagine it
Right.
being that big either.
Damn.
No,
I thought it was just
always
the crew.
thought, yeah, I thought it
Okay,
was
so
like
this
a
is the
small
cover
boat.
of the prequel.
Mhm.
So like all we get is a hand.
The hand.
Mhm.
They were saying they had like an extra knuckle, and it was like bleh.
Yeah.
The
Not
extra
a
knuckle
fan.
on there. So
Extra knuckle included. Awesome.
that's my favorite quarantine pastime is counting knuckles on book covers.
You're so good at it.
Okay, someone said I'm reading the chat. Someone said my favorite part was Tori figuring out how their language works. As a language nerd myself, that was so satisfying to read. I agree. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I
wanted
wish
to
we had
talk about
spent
it.
more. Sorry, go.
I
No,
wanted
go.
to talk about it in the video, but it was spoiler free, so I couldn't. But like
Mhm.
the way that they steal songs and then use those for
Yeah.
different words. So it's like the killer whales. That's their song is like their word for food. I thought that was so cool, and it like blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I really love how like sign language is so prevalent in the book and it's like normalized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the beginning, they like very briefly had that moment where like some people were clearly prepared to actually have to speak in sign language, and then you had
Right.
that clash for a bit of like, oh, you didn't prepare, like you're the odd man out, like you're the one that's not doing this normal. Like I liked that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's in the novella too. In the novella, the first mate of the ship is deaf, and they use sign language on the ship. And the people that go from Imagine don't know sign language, and the captain's basically like, "Well, that's your issue and not ours."
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
I also like it was Holly that didn't die, right? Holly was alive.
I believe
Where
so.
Holly's talking about the people that she like, where Holly's talking about the people that she like works alongside, and like they just like leave her notes every now and then, but like they don't really talk to her, so she feels a disconnect
Yeah.
from people that she's supposed to be like, bonding with and stuff. I thought was really interesting. Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
not deaf, so I can't do the representation or how well it's done, but it was just something that I noticed in the book that I thought deserved to be talked about.
speaking of like that part though, I've loved the personalization of was it Heather? God, I'm terrible with the 3 H's. The one that actually went down in
Heather's
the
the one that died in the
submersible.
submersible.
Yeah.
I loved how they had equipped her ship, like the submersible, to be completely like no sound. There was like writing out the notes to people up above and the light signals, and I just thought that was awesome. Like I almost wish it didn't end so quickly.
Yeah.
Because I
Right.
wanted that scene to like go on for so much longer. I thought that scene was like really interesting. Someone said,
Yeah,
"Am I a bitch because I cared about the dolphins rather than the people?" Sorry,
Oh no.
you're not.
Oh,
The first time
poor
I read that,
dolphins.
because I read this book twice now, and like I cried so hard with the dolphins. I loved them.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, it broke my heart. I was like, don't do that. Just swim away.
I was like, just go, just be free.
Right.
Yeah.
See, like
Just go.
that scene was so cool though, because there's like a few brief moments where you actually get like in that you got the point of view of the dolphins, which
Yeah.
broke my heart. But you also got the sirens at some points, like early on when you like had that. For me at least, I had that shift to going like, who's talking right now? And I'm like, oh God, it's them. Like we're in their brain, and like I
Yeah.
thought that was so cool. I did not expect that
Yeah.
at all.
Let's see. I'm just scrolling in the chat to see what you guys are saying.
Mhm.
Someone said it was unexpected that they were all male and the Siren Queen was huge and terrifying. I loved that though because that
That was
mimics
cool.
like real world biology. I know it's like with the anglerfish, but
Mhm.
the one I'm more familiar with is the blanket octopus, where it's like the males are like microscopic and then the females are like 8 feet long. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have a
it's
weird
like
Google search
a
after
real world
this.
thing. I thought was really cool.
It made me think of Ponyo. Have you guys ever
Oh,
seen that?
Mhm.
Where like she's huge in the water and like comes up under the boat. That's what it made me think of.
Someone said. Also, the scene where she's ready to go under had me getting so anxious. Are you talking about Heather? Like where she's like going down in her submersible?
mm.
That whole submersible scene had me stressed the fuck out. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God, yeah.
I mean, I stayed up until 3 a.m. reading that scene because I could not put it down. I just could not.
What was Jillian's ex's name? I can't think of him.
Theo, I think.
I
Was
think
it
so.
Theo? I thought that he
I
was
think so.
well done with the fact that like he had this disability and has chronic pain, but he was still like ready to fight at any minute.
Mm.
And that's something I think is really cool that was done in this book. Like, even though you have a bunch of like marginalized characters and like specifically disabled characters, you know, like that doesn't mean they still can't be like badasses and fight and like
Right.
save the day kind of thing. I thought that was, you know, I've heard it's that way with a lot of McGuire's books, but like I said, this is the only one that I've read, so I don't know about the rest of them.
Yeah, she's really good about putting in characters that have marginalizations, but not making them be like the weak character or the one that slows the group down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was in charge in this one. He had all
Right.
the power here. I love
All
that.
the power.
I did hate him at the beginning, though. I was like, I want this motherfucker to die.
And see,
Well,
I'm
because
the
I was like, he's
opposite
the one
because
that's like,
go ahead.
I was like, he's the one that's like getting everyone on the ship. And like the first time I read it, I was like, oh, this isn't like a real science-y thing. This is like a PR stunt to like cover their asses. And that's why they're getting Tori, whose sister died. Like they want to look good for
Right.
TV. So I was like, this motherfucker is about to kill this whole family. Like he's taking both of their kids.
Yeah, I think he's like the most ambiguous character out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of loved him for that ruthlessness, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
he had a goal. He knew that he wanted to further his career, and he was willing to do whatever. So I kind of liked him for it.
Mhm. I think something that's interesting about all of the characters, though, is like they're driven by like pride.
Mhm.
Because it's like Jason the douchey X, he wants to like discover this like cool bug thing that's like in the siren's hair. Like he wants to like figure out all of like, the microorganisms and stuff, and that's how he dies because he's too proud and he decides he's gonna do his own thing and then he dies. And then Heather wants to prove that just because she's deaf, that doesn't mean she can't be like the first person to travel the Mariana Trench. So I thought that was really cool. It's the same thing with like Jacques and Mitchie. Like they're both so proud of their hunting that like they're gonna do whatever. And then like Jock snaps later, but like pride was his initial thing.
He had a good reason to snap. And then like Tori just wanted to know what happened to her sister. She wasn't really like, she was there for scientific reasons, but her whole thing is that Anne disappearing or dying really like just tore her entire family apart.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to make sense of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. All of the character motives and everything I thought were fantastic.
Yeah.
Are there any characters we haven't talked about?
I mean, there's Louis. We haven't mentioned him yet.
Yeah, Louis I really liked. Yeah.
Yeah.
He reminded me of like a golden retriever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did he end up dying? Because there was a moment of very intense pride with him as well when he was trying to film, and then they saved him because he was like, "No, I can keep filming this. I'm gonna be the first one, and like I'll live." Like, yeah.
I don't think he died. Him. I don't remember him dying because what I remember most about this book are the death scenes.
Mm-hmm. What did we not talk about? Oh, the two. Oh my gosh, the two guys that were like hands on the ship. Oh my gosh,
that's like the guard people.
I think so. I'm trying to find their names.
Like
one of them was like,
them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You're talking about the ones that Olivia teamed up with at the end.
Them, yes.
They're just kind of hanging out, being like, we're trying to survive.
Yeah.
Fuck it up.
Like, I'm trying to not die today. I'm trying to get a paycheck.
And then there was Daniel, who was the one who worked with the dolphins and like whales in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, someone mentioned in the chat, personally, I really love the siren keeping them safe and chasing the others away. So that's also what he was doing with Hallie, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I thought that was
he
really
was,
cool.
Oh, no, I was just saying he was the one that was down there when they, like, were left behind with the tank, and then, like, she was talking to the siren that was in the tank still.
Okay. Am I a bad person for wanting those two people to get together?
No.
I thought that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, same. But I think it was because we didn't spend a lot of time with them.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, that's what you were talking about. A lot
more time, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, with your review where you said like two characters and then we like disappear and then we come back later.
Yeah. Because first of all, they were doing really cool stuff with like communicating. That was fascinating to me. And I also thought that there was like a romance blooming and it didn't happen. And I was like, I wish we spent more time with the two of them. Kind of. For those two reasons.
Like, I wanted there to be a romance, but I was also like, her sister just got murdered. Like, maybe let's not ship the character who's, in great pain right now.
She just needed a
shoulder. But, like, Tori was in
pain,
and we still shipped her.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hated the two hunters, liked that the two survived, but the professional hunters died.
Yeah, that death scene with Michi was a lot.
Oh,
That was
that was
that was
something else.
because she had like finally like I love that she kept calling the people from Imagine like the boys or her boys or something, and then they were the ones that were there like making sure she was okay still when they were trying to fix her up.
Yeah.
I also
You know what?
liked that.
Yeah.
I also like that whenever like her and Jacques were like talking to each other on the walkies, she was like, "Well, Jacques just wants people to like follow him around, but like I make them fall in love with me so that they'll
Yeah.
like die for
Yeah,
me."
exactly.
I
Because
just
like there was like a
I
huge.
wish. Hmm?
I was gonna say there was like a huge distinction because like Jack like refused to even remember their names, and there was Michi just like remembering everyone's name, like probably having the whole family tree memorized and everything.
Mhm. I wish between the two that Michi would have lived.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
They
Very
kind of
true.
made me think of like Boris and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. That's just how I kept picturing
Yes.
them.
See? Someone said, "Is she gonna write a sequel?" So she's talked about writing a sequel, and who published this? Is it Orbit? Yeah, it's Orbit. Apparently, there was supposed to be a sequel written, but they didn't put support behind the book or something, and it hasn't made enough money for them to justify her writing a sequel or something like that. So I want a sequel. I think the ending was left open enough that we could get a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. Okay, so if there were a sequel, what would you guys want to happen? Like, which characters would you want to follow? Like, what would,
Okay.
if you could look at your dream sequel?
Huh. I don't know if I'd want to have these characters again. Like I like them, but I kind of want to like with how they were created, I kind of want to see what new ones Mira Grant would be able to drum up.
True. I think I would just like to see someone trying to like get Tori to get on board with it, and she'd be like, "Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that," and just like exit out of that at the beginning of the sequel. That's all I know.
I mean, I like the novella not following the same characters that we had already seen, so I would like a sequel to have new characters.
Yeah, and I mean, isn't there kind of a setup with the scientist who gets the siren from the ship? So like, that could be one of them.
Yeah, they said like, oh, we're like taking it somewhere.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that they just go like full Jaws franchise, where it's like the big siren comes to save the male siren from the aquarium or something stupid like that.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. Or alternate.
So I would also like.
I would also like if they just went in a huge submarine, and we would be like in it the whole time.
Ooh, I think that would be
Yeah,
fun.
someone
Yeah.
said that like they wish there was more underwater action.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of me is also like go the route of the Meg, and just have it be like really dumb and really actiony.
Yeah,
I loved Meg.
It's so good.
Same. Yeah.
Well, what if they had like some sort of underwater, like almost like underwater, like if they had some sort of base down there, and like maybe it's like 10 or 15 years later, and they have something more organized, and then they figure out what's going on with that huge female one down there.
Yeah.
That would be
wouldn't
really
they
cool.
just like break into anything that was under the water since they like
I will
pretty much
be right back, you
pulverized
guys.
the submersible?
Oh, he said he was gonna be. They said they were gonna be right back. Yeah. I was like, what did I hear? What were you saying, Weezy?
Wouldn't the sirens just like break into anything that was under the water though? Because they pretty much opened the submersible, didn't they? Like they damaged it enough that it opened.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and also like I can only assume when you get down, like as we'll talk about the movie after, but anything ruptures and it just crushes with the pressure down there. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just so curious because I know Tori was like, I saw something down there, and I'm curious if like after the book ends, if anybody's going to believe her,
Yeah.
because that's
Right.
terrifying to think of like this huge light just coming up to hunt. Blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ocean kind of scares me, anyways.
Oh, hell yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Like
Somebody was saying they
deep
want to see
water.
military force try to take the
Yeah.
sirens on.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back.
Welcome
Hi.
back.
How much did y'all shit talk me while I was gone?
Just
So
a little
much.
bit.
So much.
Right. The boyfriend just got back home and they brought me boba. Well, not boyfriend
Oh.
anymore. But
We love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what did I miss?
Not much. We were kind of mentioned like what would happen if they did have some sort of base down at the bottom of the ocean, because Weezy was
Okay.
mentioning like they pretty much attacked the submersible. Like it don't seem impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to talk about underwater at all? Because that kind of gets into that similar vein.
Yeah,
of,
it
like,
does lead into it really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a lot of plot holes for me in the movie. I loved it, but I had so many questions and so many
Yeah.
things that started to lead up to that just like fizzled out.
Yeah, exactly. So many things were just hinted at and never happened anything with that. So yeah.
Yeah, there was always hinting of like, because the whole thing was they were going to go to another base, try to get an escape hatch sort of situation.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was at one point they asked, I guess, the captain, like, what about this other base? It's closer. Oh, that one. Oh no, it's gone. And to me, I was like, how do we know this? And then
Yeah.
and
It
then she
almost
eventually
felt,
gets
yeah.
there. Yeah, she eventually gets there, and it's not. Nothing's
Yeah.
wrong.
It's honestly almost like there was like a whole storyline around the captain that was kind of just like left out, because then she gets to the other
Yeah.
station and sees like his little locker and they're like a mess with like everything. I'm like, why? What is this pointing to? So it's like
what were
something
you
was
doing?
missing. Yeah.
I think my main issue that I had with the movie was like the monsters look cool, right? And like it's kind of the same thing as Into the Drowning Deep, where it's like they're the little baby monsters that live on like Big Daddy Monster.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But with like the visuals, I don't know if it was supposed to look like Cthulhu from like Lovecrafty stuff.
Mhm.
The end
It looked
one,
a
yeah.
lot like Cthulhu
Yeah.
to me, and I'm like, okay, so this is like an eldritch god, right? Like that's what Cthulhu is. So I'm like, can you kill a immortal god with like an explosion?
See, yeah, it was all weird. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, so was that huge one and all of them, were they there when they built the bases, or did they come out of the earth when they were drilling, or did they just like were they just coming through the sea and then they come upon the bases? Like, and that's why I was like curious when, like you mentioned, the locker, there was like a map and there was circled things and things written, and I was like, so maybe they were aware that it was happening or that they had unleashed something, but it just all seemed so unlikely. And so I was
Yeah.
like, I feel like they cut something out of the movie that we're needing.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like the movie wanted to do something really cool. It just didn't have like the runtime for it because it was a long movie. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like a lot got chopped out. So
Mhm.
Yeah. I think he wanted to be at least 2.5 hours at first.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It like visually I thought it was really interesting. And like just the sense of isolation. Like I didn't expect it to start so quickly. I really liked that you're immediately like in action. There's no question what this movie is going to be about moving forward.
Mhm.
But yeah, it felt like it was going to be two different movies. It was going to be the movie where they're in the isolation in and of itself, and then the add-on of the, I don't even call them mermaids. They're just these creatures. Is something down there. And And I was just like, how did these two worlds, like, I felt like you copied one world into the other world and now they're clashing, but they should be clashing for a while. Like, it just, I don't know, something about that unsettled me.
Because for me, the implication with the film was like that they had been drilling for a bit, and like, if you were going to disturb these creatures, would they not have attacked you quicker? Like, why have they been waiting years and years and years?
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like.
I kind of assumed that they were going to like the different stations and not to the other ones because the creatures came out during drilling, but like nothing was stated. So like we don't know. It's literally just assuming what could have happened.
I feel like they should have just made it Into the Drowning Deep as a film.
Yeah.
Like it basically was, just without, the diversity.
Above water stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just, like, I don't know, because, like, the amount of time it would take, like, I almost want to say it would take, like, 10 years to build those enormous bases underwater. And then, like, who knows how many people probably died during that. And it just everything about it seemed, because it took place, like, not terribly far in the future, right? Like, it was, like, 2023 or something, or did I make that up?
It was, like, not current day, but I think it was supposed to be, because Into the Drowning Deep takes place a few years into the future, too.
Yeah.
So I think it was supposed to be, like, around the same time. Like I'm saying, just make the movie Into the Drowning Deep.
Yeah.
It's what we want.
Yeah, right. Just make the movie. I think I saw someone had said it's going to be, or no, sorry, not going to be. They said they had more recent news, because I know, Brody, you had just mentioned, like, they weren't selling enough, but somebody said it was sold as a movie. I think I might let me Google that.
You got me so excited. Literally just cast me as like a random crew member. Let me just get like murdered. I will be like a guard that dies for Mitchie, like whatever. Just like let me get in on that.
From 2018 on Variety, it said somebody, Pet Cemetery director Mary Lambert boards mermaid thriller Rolling in the Deep. Is that a different?
Rolling in the Deep is
the Deep is the novella.
Yeah.
That would be interesting too, though.
Yeah, film led by complicated, badass female characters. I like that description.
That's my favorite kind of female characters.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like there's theoretically a director, so.
Okay, so you guys know what that means, right? In a future month, we will have to read Rolling in the Deep and watch Rolling in the Deep.
Definitely.
God.
That's exciting.
We will revisit this. All right, so we've been going for like 43 minutes, and we wanted to keep this like under an hour if possible. Sure. So, is there anything we want to say that we didn't get to say about the book or the movie, and like wrap up, final thoughts, stuff like that?
I think I've said my piece personally.
I just want to shout out to Michelle, who died horribly in the book, because I was looking for that.
I'm very glad that you got a character in there.
Yeah. I mean, I genuinely loved it, though. So.
Do we want to announce next month's book and stuff?
Yes.
In case nobody has seen it?
Yes. So if you're not following the Twitter and you're just here randomly, which you should go follow the Twitter and then go follow all of us because we're all fantastic. Because of COVID and, like the mail issues and also with just mail being slower in November in general, we decided to announce the next couple of months early. So there's a thread on Twitter that you can go check out. But for October, we will be reading Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake. And that will be on Angel's channel. The live show will be over there. So go subscribe to her now and turn on post notifications so that you can get notified.
Yes. And then the live show date, we'll announce that at a later date because we just need to work out scheduling wise. But yeah, I don't know. You guys didn't have anything else you wanted to talk about with the book or with the movie?
And the movie for October is Amityville Horror.
Oh, I forgot. I'm so
The
excited.
original Amityville Horror.
The
Yes.
original, yes.
I'm so excited.
I haven't seen the original, just the
Damn.
beautiful Ryan Reynolds
I
version.
think I've only seen the Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah.
Just shirtless, like digging in the rain.
Mhm. I've seen all the sequels though. Like I've seen every single Amityville sequel. Have y'all seen
Oh.
Amityville Horror 2?
No.
Yes.
No.
It's the most fucked up. Well, not the most fucked up movie, but like it's the movie that like terrifies me. Like I saw it when I was like
Okay.
12, and I still, as a 24-year-old, have nightmares about it.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, I kind of just want to like marathon all of them.
We have all of October to do so.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
All right. Does anyone in the chat have questions or anything before we go? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No? Okay. 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 Someone said, I'm glad you guys posted the upcoming months. It really helps me out when it comes to ordering the books, like to get them cheap so I order from sites outside my country. Yes, that's another reason that we have decided that we are going to primarily be doing backlist titles because they're cheaper. And like I know I don't have the money every month to buy a new release, and we just want to make sure that they're available in as many different formats, in as many different places, to as many different people as possible.
Definitely.
Someone said favorite kids movie.
Jurassic Park is not a kids movie, but it's my kids movie.
For
I
me, it
like
was
the Halloween
Jumanji.
tree.
Ooh, Jumanji was good.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Weezy?
The Halloween tree.
Okay.
Ooh.
Never seen that.
It's good.
Did I say Coraline or Paranorman? One of those two.
Oh yeah. Love both.
Or like, is Hocus Pocus a kids movie? I feel like it's not, but it
Yes,
pretends.
I saw,
sorta.
like Jurassic Park, I saw it as a child, so I would say yes.
Oh yeah. Like I saw Jaws when I was 4, so like that's the kind of kids movies that I watched.
Oh yeah.
All right, and that concludes the first live stream for the Spooky Bitches Book Club. Make sure you join us in October, like I said, over on Angel's channel, and go follow everyone. 3 of us have BookTube channels, and Weezy has a podcast, so make sure you're checking all that out. Because this month we all put out content related to the book, and I will update the description with all of that, so you can go check that out. All right, cool. Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right. Okay. Bye.
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 And the broadcast.